We know from history that challenging times bring great success stories, driven by resilience, innovation, and most often, individual people leading the way.
When I was at Hallmark, I was executive, but I separated being an artist, and this was the first time I actually really brought it all together. I had to show the art side of me. I want to help women get their dreams out of them, not just be ambitious, but be ambitious about what they desire.
If you were to ask me 10 years ago if a heartbreak would be the catalyst that would cause me to start the world's first ever breakup boot camp, get a book deal with HarperCollins, and be sitting here in front of you today to share my story, I would have thought you were crazy.
The first thing you need to know is that I did not set out in any way to build a brand or a site. This is something that I was lucky that it turned into. I didn't expect it to, but I ended up building an audience and it ended up turning into my job. And I feel so lucky because it was the job I wanted to have anyway.
I launched Kris by Kristen New Year's Day 2020. Consistency, confidence, and authenticity. Hands down, that is kind of what, for me, is what it takes to run a successful blog.
How we talk to customers has changed. Early on, it was messaging about what we're doing to keep customers safe during COVID. Then it moved to messaging about how do we feel during COVID. Then just the simple question, do we market to customers during COVID?
I've learned to work remotely quite well during the protests and COVID. But this has been a bumpy ride for free expression and free speech.
It's not as valuable to just say, hey, I'm a storyteller. Here is the world in which this thing exists. But if you can tell the story as reflected in people's emotional response to it, then you have an audience.
I shifted the entire business to make sure that everything we did was the representation of the world that we live in.
The most successful media, bloggers, vloggers, and podcasters use WordPress, and you can too.